challenge the road, the 22B v the GTR. Now, this is going to be a really interesting video. I haven't been in this 22B for a little while. We had it away in storage, but it's back out now. 5,000 mile car. It's a very low mileage. I'm just trying to get a feel for it. Now, this 22B's got different rims. I actually have original tyres on the BBS rims it comes with, so I've put these WRC 6-spoke actually speed lines on, and they are lovely. They actually feel better than the originals. I had the originals on the other 22B I sold, but it drove better with these on, so we're back out in these. So this is interesting. We're going to do engine, handling, feel good factor, and just see which one I feel is best, and then it's going to go up against the Evo, as the Evo beat the Yaris. Need to concentrate a little bit. It's a pretty cool car. So, engine, it feels good. It feels good so far. I've been out for a little drive. Let's just drop it to second. 4,000. Yeah, it feels rapid, very urgent. Compared to the Evo, the steering's better on the Evo. It's better with these alloys because they're quite a bit heavier than the BBS's, but still maybe the Evo feels better. Well, it does feel special, this car, very special. So 22Bs, what's been happening now? Obviously the first one I bought was 32,000 all them years ago, and I sold it for 23,000. Everyone who had one then wishes they kept one. Went into this car, had that sort of horrible, not buyer's remorse, but just having to pay 150,000 for a car you sold at 23,000 never feels nice, does it? So anyway, I did that, and then I thought, oh, I love that 22B, and it's going to go up in value. I'll keep it, and I'll buy another one, which I did, and we paid 118,000 for another 22B, and I thought I'll use it, and that kept going up in value too. So I thought, maybe I'll sell it. So I put it on collecting cars, and within a year we sold it for 220,000. So then I thought, oh, actually this one's only cost me 48, so I don't feel as bad now selling one at 23. Then I left that in storage, and I thought, oh, it's going to go up in value again, so I'll leave it and don't drive it. And then I thought, Richard, you've got to drive these cars, surely you've got to drive them. You can't keep doing this. You can't keep buying cars, they go up in value, and then you don't drive them. So I rung Stuart and said, Stuart, come on, bring me back the 22B and let me get out in it and have a drive. So that's what I've done. Then I thought, well, we've got these face-offs going on, let's bring the big dog in, the Evo. And then I thought, we've got the even bigger Godzilla GTR, what are we going to do? So tonight I thought, right, let's put this out. Let's get the GTR out in a bit. Let's test this. The winner of this faces the Evo, because the Evo was tremendous against the Yaris. And Carl, who lent us the Yaris for the day, said the Evo was just amazing to drive, and he was a bit worried about me reviewing the Yaris. Yaris is fine, but obviously it's a different generation, a lot heavier, that type of stuff. So right, so engine on this, I think it's very good. I love the sound of the Subaru. In my head I had it as a louder sound. It doesn't seem that loud. I thought it would be louder, but it sounds nice, and it pulls any gear, because you've got short shift, but also it's short gearing. Now that is super exciting. That feels really good. Easy to heel and tow. It just feels really nice. So I think the GTR's got a fantastic engine too. We're just going to have a see. But engine, I love the Subaru engine. I love the flat four, the box of the sound. Obviously the newer Subaru's lost a lot of this sound, but I think it sounds fantastic, looks fantastic. So anyway, handling. Now this is where it gets interesting, because sometimes this car feels very light, so it's quite difficult to know where you are, I suppose. The steering seems to get lighter the quicker you go, and that can feel a little bit disconcerting, but with these alloys today it feels really nice. So I think the handling is really good, and the suspension, the Bilstein, really compliant, no problems there. It goes over bumps, you can just drive it anywhere. How different is it to a normal impreza? Well, we'll find out, because I've bought one of those. After driving the Terzo, I thought I've got to go back and buy one, so I bought one. So the next thing is just feel good factor. What would you give it? If you love Subarus, then I think it's the best Subaru. And we just go into this point. So you've got 22B, World Rally car, and now P25. So a 22B, an average one, is probably 200,000, 225. A top one is probably 400. But I still think they're going to go up from there. A Subaru World Rally car just sold for about 450, and we've got a World Rally car, and I love that car. I think it's the best looking one. A P25 is 775,000, and actually some of them are going for $1 million. So what would I have? Well, I decided I'd rather have a 22B and a WRC than have a P25. That's where it's at for me. I think that the design on this is fantastic. There's bits on that P25 that look added on. This doesn't look added on, it just looks right. It's the ultimate WRC design. It's got bigger spoilers than the World Rally car. So the World Rally car's got a lower rear spoiler, and the arches aren't as flared as on this. So they've gone to town on this and made this ever so special. So feel good factor, well, it is right up there. I'd probably say it's a 9. It'd be, if it does win this battle, it's going to be very interesting against the Evo. Right, let's head back, let's get the GTR out, and then see how that performs. So we're out in the GTR, sun's going down, so we've got to crack on. How does it feel? It feels bigger, but it doesn't feel massive, this car. I always thought at the time these would feel big and heavy, but it doesn't really. Now this one's got Olin suspension, bigger exhaust. The 22B has just got a Scooby Sport catback and back box. So this has got, you know, a bespoke suspension, whereas the 22B is as it was from factory. So we go through the 3 things. So we've got engine handling and we've got feel good factor. Now, engine is pretty tremendous. It doesn't feel as quick as I thought it would, and I don't know, because I don't know what power it is. I think it's probably 400, and they didn't know what it is. I don't know. It's difficult to get a feel because this is my first Skyline GTR, but performance feels really good. Does it feel better than the Subaru? I'm not sure. It feels different, you know. The Subaru goes and then stays the same. This tends to go, and we'll run it out in a minute. What I've done is I thought we need some bigger roads. This car feels like you want to go to the Nuremberg Ring. You want to go some big roads that you can really get this running at high speed. The Subaru feels good everywhere. Low speed, this feels a bit like it's a cruiser. It's just cruising along. Whereas the Subaru still feels super nimble. That's what I'm feeling. So engine, we're going to have to do that up here. We're going to have to give it a run. Gearbox and everything feels really nice. It's very tight, but it's only 8,000 mile car. And of course, if you've watched the video before, you know I had to pay a lot of money for this car because, well, they're a lot of money. And I was worried. I got worried like the 22B. I thought, if I don't buy them now, will I ever be able to afford them? And I'm really sad about that, because you have to work very hard and earn a lot of money to have them now, whereas they used to be sort of what I call the everyman's car. You know, if you wanted a Subaru, they were 20,000, a 22B 40,000. It wasn't mega money at that time. These were 50,000, but now you've got all the big boys on the block, haven't you? McLaren, all them. And if you want, you know, a real sort of top car like that, you have to pay quite a lot of money. Now we're going to get down here. Let's give it a little run. So first gear. Obviously, as it's time, this is one of the best four-wheel drive systems. It feels pretty immense. Just put it up here. I've put on weight, all these have got slimmer, but they feel very, very snug. I've obviously had too much chocolate at Easter, that's all I can think. So engine very strong. I think it's a draw because the Subaru sound I think is better. This is the sound from here is all coming from the induction. I don't really hear the exhaust, and it's the opposite on the Subaru. Handling's going to be interesting because we know that the Subaru, the steering can be quite light. It did feel better on those rims, and I can see why when it went to Evo magazine it won the test there against the Quattro. And I can see why, because it does feel really good, and obviously they're wider track on those rims. So round about here, it's just super. Yeah, that's one of the best handling cars I've ever been in, you know. I think handling has to go to the GTR. So the engine and that, I think it has to be equal, because this is like one of the most, you see how difficult this is now, because I really do love the Subaru. Okay, so let's just say it's in the lead now. It's better handling, fine. The engine, I do really like the engine on the Subaru, but I don't know if because it's got a short shift. I don't know. So we have to go to feel good factor. Now we just went to a petrol station because the guys are getting all the photos and the B-roll, and people didn't even come up to the 22B, but I had 4 people come up to the Skyline. The 22B just doesn't seem to get the attention, and even a lot of people I see, they really like the Evo. I don't know now. So feel good factor, when I was there people were just smiling at this car, but when I see the 22B, one of the guys just went past me and I thought, the 22B looks so good. So feel good factor's a tough one, really tough one, and I think it just depends on which manufacturer you really like. If you're a Subaru McRae, you're probably going to go 22B, but if you're just a car guy, I think you're going to go with the GTR. I don't know, is that controversial? I don't know. So basically it's all really even, but obviously one of these has got to go against the Evo, and we've got to wrap up this film as well. You know, my concern, I feel this is going to lose against the Evo. I need God, which one am I going to choose? It shouldn't really be this difficult, should it? Let's wait at this junction and just have a think about this. Do I go 22B or do I go GT? It's meaty, this car. I can adapt the suspension a bit, making it a bit softer. Oh God, this was going to be quite easy. I think we're going to take the GTR. I think the GTR is going to take on the Evo, and I'm going to have to do the 22B against the Evo as a separate thing. I think the GTR wins. I think it's just, as a driving experience, I think it just got a little bit more, and even though it might lose, I don't know, it's going to be so tight. I think the 22B will just lose because of steering feel against the Evo. So there you go. We've got a lovely sunset now. We're going to get on with some B-roll and pictures, and I'm going to have to tell the Evo that it is fighting a Nissan, not a Subaru. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you enjoy the videos we've got coming up, and I'll see you again soon.